Hello everybody, my name is Benji, and welcome back to the Dyson Sphere program, where that's not ominous in the slightest. It's right there. We are proceeding in our orbit in such a way that we are almost gonna collide with them. I don't know what their orbital period is. Their orbital period is greater than ours, so it'll probably be here by the time we're a little bit farther, because that's how orbital periods work. They're going faster because they're higher, but it takes longer because they have a larger radius. Orbital mechanics basics, yay, I'm boring you in the first minute of the video. You'll notice that I have fixed not the audio issues, but I have fixed the, what's it called, the music. So currently you are hearing the music as you're supposed to, and I am currently hearing the music, not at all. So that's like a whole thing. I'm gonna try to turn down some more things. I'll turn down that and see if that helps with the usage a little bit. And I'll be honest, it did. So that's fine with me. I don't know what the planet Neferfram is, so I guess we'll just deal with that as is. But that looks crazy from here. I wish I could go and observe it, but I cannot go and observe it. So anyway, last time, if you missed the first episode stream, by the way, the first episode stream was very successful. I was quite happy with it. We got the entirety of my starter mall up and running and utilizing materials effectively. We've got our entire mall making belts, making inserters, I mean, they're not inserters, they're sorters, but I'm calling them inserters. We even have Gauss turrets. We've got a little bit of fuel going on over here. That I would really, actually, in all honesty, like some more of. And then we also got our Jumpstart Science going, so we have our planetary science and our planetary mall working with blue cubes from the stream and red cubes from episode 2. Feel free to check both of those out if you would like to. I certainly enjoyed playing and having fun with all of it, so please enjoy as you would like. We have our light oil as a byproduct at the moment because we don't really have anything that's going to be using the light oil. I mean, there is sulfuric acid and there is graphene, which uses the sulfuric acid, and then of course there is also plastics, which use the sulfuric acid, and eventually along the line there will also be some other things that require all of that wonderfulness, but for the current moment in time, none of that is actually something that we have going and be done. And today I was originally going to go through the next tier of our Jumpstart malls that we have access to, but I honestly think that I want to add some things to the base, and it actually looks like we might have to do the second tier of the mall for that anyway, because the battlefield analysis base uses microprocessors, and microprocessors, or microcrystalline components, use silica. Silica, of course, uses stone, of which I have in very little supply. So, okay, scratch everything that I said. We're making the secondary tier of the Jumpstart base. I showed it off last time, but I will show it off again this time as we build it component by component. I'm going to clear out all of these trees, that way we actually get the wood and all of the other stuff from it. And then we'll go on ahead and we'll open this up and we'll get the Tier 2 Jumpstart Mall. Here it is in its totality. And I honestly, yeah, I remember I was going to have to do it like this. So we're going to want the inputs kind of happening right where the two wind turbines are currently happening. I think that's probably going to be the best place for it overall. So if we do smelt number 1, which side was which actually? Let me look at it again. It's been so long. Okay, so we want smelt 2 as our primary reference here. Why are you stopping mining trees? Quit stopping mining trees. I want you to mining trees. So we want smelt 2 to start off with. And I guess we will just have that happen right on these guys. Give myself a little bit of wiggle room for belting, routing, and stuff. Right there. You know what, we'll even do it in such a way that we don't mess up anything else.
You've built an arc.
You. And then as soon as we have belt mark 2s, what we're going to do is we're just going to upgrade this stone line and then split the stone line off. Instead of running a secondary stone line. I feel like running a secondary stone line is going to be a lot more annoying. And then the copper and iron can go here. We have a copper node directly next to us, so we'll just be able to harvest off of that. I need some new belts, because of course I do. Why would I not need new belts? So that's both of the smeltings, and then the tier 1. This is right here. Yes. Yeah, right there. Why are you yelling at me? Okay, that's good as is. Tier 2 is the microcrystalline components. So it looks like that one just connects right in like that. Absolutely glorious. I love it when stuff like this actually comes together really, really efficiently.
You've built your first.
Stop, I have not built my first. It is not my first. I promise you, it is not my first. And then we'll just build this one right there. And then the next one, finally, tier 4, is this one right there. Perfection! So the iron, it looks like we're probably going to end up splitting off of this line right here. The heck is going on here? It's like half height. X-ray cracking, that's going to be useful later. It's a surprise tool that'll come in handy later. But it looks like we're going to have to split one of the iron lines off. I think this iron line is currently independent, so we'll probably end up splitting it off of this one at some point along the belt. Because this one is already splitting and adding into things, doing all of its operation and whatnot. Like I mentioned about the stone line, we're going to have to split off the stone line. And of course, we're not going to have that high of a throughput on our silica, but I think that's kind of a something that we're just going to have to deal with overall. Is this? Okay, so this is magnets. What is happening? You just need to be put here? Because this is copper. I don't think anything else in here uses magnets. This is iron, which makes sense for all of that. This is a copper magnet output, so the copper magnets go along. This is green circuits, this is silica. And what is happening here? Oh, this is glass. This is not silica, this is glass. I see. Okay. So I think what we're probably going to end up doing is just splitting this belt off right here. In such a way... I guess we'll have to split it twice, won't we? Yeah, we'll have to split it twice, but that's alright. So we'll split it once right here. Of course, that's going to end up getting in the way. And then we'll split it again right there. And we'll just use even distribution on this, I think, is probably our best idea overall. We're just going to feed that straight in right there, and that right in right there. That'll be perfect. This stone input will just go without a input for a little bit, and I think that's going to be fine overall as well. Copper, of course, this is wrong. This is not copper plate input. This is copper ore input, so that's something to be aware of if you are using these blueprints. Stop. I have already heard all of the tips and things for basic stuffs. Then I think what we're probably going to end up having to do at some point with all of this is we're going to be required to have ourselves some kind of an output of the microcrystalline components such that I can organize everything and have it not only for the missile turret, which honestly the missile turret can probably just be added to the other one. Yeah, so the missile turret and missiles can probably just be added onto the previous iteration of the mall, but the battlefield analysis base is going to require something a little bit more substantial, which is why we're building our Tier 2 version of our mall design. Our Jumpstart Mall version 2.
You've built a depot for storing items.
I have built a depot for storing items in the past. I have built wind turbines in the past as well. Do not patronize me, Mr. Robot. Much as I appreciate you and your tips, they are not helpful. I may not remember everything about this game that I used to, but I remember more than you are currently helping with. So long, and thanks for all the fish. We'll build some more wind turbines, because now you can put wind turbines on the water. It's something that I've discussed in the past, but, you know, it's still a whole thing. Yeah, see, it's just now beginning to reach where we were. Oh, it's dropping stuff off currently. Hang on, I want to go see that.
In the planet view, you can hold
Yeah,
the middle
look at
mouse
that.
button to rotate the camera.
Those
Hold the right
things.
mouse button to roll the camera. Press
Look at them go.
in the planet view.
Stop. I've already done all of that. And they're going off to the Dark Fog Hive. All of the resource distribution guys. And we are 50% of the way to our next attack. Which will probably be somewhat substantial, in all honesty, but not something that I'm too concerned with. These must be the drones themselves, if I had to guess. Where are the drones, by the way? Particle control, reinforced thrusters. Where are the logic drones? Explosive unit, high strength crystal, titanium ammunition. Precision drones is not what I want. Signal tower is another thing that I kind of have on the list of things to do today. Oh, it's in the queue. Okay, cool. It's in the queue. Good to know. Good to know. Formed refine, that is something that will also come in handy for us at a later date. Yeah, it looks like we've already got that. We've already got a whole bunch of things, so we will be able to just add onto the mall. So I'm gonna take a little bit of time here. I'm gonna go think about how we're gonna add some of this stuff onto the mall. Then we're gonna add it onto the mall, and then we're gonna check it out and call it a day. See you in a minute. Alright, small little update. We do have some spaghetti beginning to happen. We had to cross over our copper magnet belt because the copper magnets do not actually continue along the entirety of this side. I do believe they stop here, so I guess I could have done a little bit of finagling in order to get that out and around instead of doing what I did, but I think what I did is also just fine. So we do have some missile turrets now being created, which is very nice in my opinion. We also had to add this temporary little copper thing here into the assembling machine. We are, of course, again starting to run out of power, which I'm not surprised about. So we're going to go on ahead and add in just a little bit more here in our interconnected web of everything as a result of the fact that the power grids are connected. I'm not really too concerned about the fact that we're going to be expanding the wind turbine arrays out in this direction. It's not the worst thing in the world. And of course we have the ability via coal nodes to do a little bit more of a power plant in the future, but it's not something that I'm too terribly concerned with right now, if I'm being completely honest with you. This one little gear or motor assembler is really taking the brunt of the entirety of the mall's motor requirements. I mean, it's supplying it to here, it's supplying it to here. It's about to be supplying it right here, because I know for a fact that this is what this is supposed to be. And of course, as well, it is also supplying it over here to our missile turrets, of which I'm actually only going to allow one stack to be created, because I'm not too concerned. And then in terms of the actual missile ammunition itself, we need coal, we need these engine things, and we need a lot of other stuff. So that's gonna be a little bit more difficult. Probably something I'm gonna want to do up here, where I already have some coal that I can just split off over to this side. And also with the copper that I have right here, we'll be able to just take this copper out and do that there. So I think we'll do that here in just a moment. And while everything else is currently being researched, I'm just going to finish up with everything that I have here. And then we need to put in the iron. So let me actually go figure out how the heck I'm going to put in the iron here. Because we've got two belts. They're both a little bit high up, just because of everything that ended up happening over in this little bit of an area. So I think what I'll do actually here is, instead of having this go to here, I can just have this split off and go to the other mall. Yeah, like this. I can't do that, of course, because of the way that the other belt decided to be, so we'll just go on ahead and put it here, and then wrap it on round, and put it in just like that. So now we're gonna have iron, we're gonna have some of the things here start being made, like the proliferators are the first thing that I'm kind of seeing on the list here. And then if we reopen this back up, and take a look at this guy, we need engines again, microcrystalline components, which are being made here, green circuits, which are being made here, and the last thing is steel, which is also made here. So honestly, what I'm thinking might not be a bad idea is, because of the fact that we have 2 arc smelters for steel right here already, what I'm thinking we do, that'll be too close to allow for insertion of steel. However, if I move that steel to this side instead, then make this the mobile command center, then take a box, put the box here, put the box there, that, this, it has steel being input now. It can have microcrystalline components, maybe? No? Not where it's at currently, it can't? Because of course the microcrystalline components just had to be right here. I could do something extremely janky, and that's okay, because anything is allowed to be spaghetti so long as you call it your starter base. Yeah, we can do that, and that'll work. And that takes care of that as input. That'll take care of that as input. And then what I'm thinking, we put one of these guys here. We take copper magnets from this top belt, and we put them down here. because the engines require copper magnets and the other stuff. That probably won't work, actually. But if I instead erase that just a little bit and then put it there instead, I can do this. Oh, goodness gracious, this is getting out of hand. Oh, gosh, I love spaghetti. And then that takes care of the copper magnets, but it does not take care of the copper. The copper, actually move that, and we will take the copper. We'll actually put the copper here instead, and then we'll do this, and we'll do the copper magnets here, and this can do that. That will take copper from it, and copper magnets, once the copper magnets kind of, you know, fully and entirely saturate their way down. Which is probably going to take a moment, in addition to that not being upgraded for throughput speed. That will eventually take the copper magnets and the copper and combine together to do that, and then that is going to be everything for the mobile command centers. And then now we have mobile command centers. What else was there that I wanted to do? Yes, the missiles, and then also the ground fighters, the prototypes, which I can probably just smack on the end of this. So let me go over here, make some spaghetti, come back, and then we'll make the final easy bit of spaghetti together, and then call it a day. In a moment. Alright, so this spaghetti has been completed, and we now have ourselves some rockets for the rocket turrets, which we will probably not get to see today, unfortunately enough. But they changed recipes on me. I'm a little bit perturbed by such things, if I'm being completely and blatantly honest with you. These guys now require thrusters. I'm assuming that they used to require green motors, given how this setup looks. Because this does not need green motors. This just needs iron and processors and some things. So I'm assuming that this is probably where this one goes. Let me take a look at the... Ow. So it's got processors going in. This one has processors going in there. And it also has those going in. So yeah, this one is the logistics distributor. This guy. But it also needs iron, which I apparently neglected to input. So that's great. Also, I just neglected to input it there, too. Why are you not getting any iron? Oh, I see why you're not getting any iron. Alright, well, let me take off the filter here. That way it just goes automatically. And then, you know what? I'll even increase the throughput, because I can. It might still run out of resources just as fast as it was before, but now it's at least gonna have... Oh, come on, seriously? Lack of item? Now it's at least gonna have higher throughput. And then this episode is going a little bit longer than I had hoped. So I think next time we're going to start off with the spaghetti of making ourselves the prototypes and automating the prototypes, which we're probably going to end up being able to do right here. Now that we don't have to have as much room for these guys. So we'll have prototypes and Logibots directly next to one another. And yeah, we'll start off with that monstrosity and it in its entirety next time. So that is going to be it for today. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. But of course, without further ado, adios, sayonara, au revoir, hasta la vista, das vidania, wiedersehen, ciao, and goodbye. Please have yourselves all a fantastic rest of your day. Get some sleep if you need to. Don't forget to stay hydrated. This video is in the bag. And I will see you guys in the next one. I was hoping I might be able to see the hive in the screenshot with the base, but I don't think that's gonna happen. All right, yeah. Cool. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later, y'all.